JC Vlad, another man, this time transferring to your university with his Padre. This is daddy ball to an effect, but hey, I guess people might be cool with it. I mean, somebody had to hire him. Tucker Devries is going from West Virginia to Indiana, started his career out at Drake. Thoughts about either Darian or Tucker Devries and the future of Indiana basketball?
Yeah, I think the DeVries hiring was very above average, and like nothing more. Like I don't think it was like a home run, but I do think it's good that they hired a guy who doesn't have like a shining personality. Like he just wants to coach ball.
Yeah.
So I do think that's good for the program, especially with the fan base that IU has. But I mean, I think they were obviously a package deal, but that's not really knocking Tucker. Like if there's any father-son duo in college basketball that, like, I don't know. I feel like those duos actually work pretty well from what I can think of off the top of my head. Like the McDermotts when Doug was at Creighton, like that went really well. You can even go to like, what was the guy's name? He hit that buzzer beater.
RJ Hunter.
Yes. I forgot the last name. Yeah. So like that worked out well because obviously he took those guys to the NCAA tournament. But yeah, like Tucker's a good player. He can shoot it. That's something that IU just has not had at all. So overall solid player. You're only getting him for a year, which is fine. I know West Virginia was like a step up from Drake, and IU might be another step up. That might be a little too much to say, but
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's ready for it, and if it doesn't work out, it's 1 year. So
I agree. I have a few questions about this. I'm very conflicted on how I feel. Probably the C+ grade kind of reflects my thoughts here. First of all, I want to clarify when I say daddy ball, that's not a bad thing. I wish my father was a college basketball coach and I could go play with him. And Tucker DeVries is obviously good enough to play at a high major place without his father. So there's no slight on the both of them. Question though, did you see did you grow up watching the Xavier teams that played against Doug McDermott at Creighton?
Yeah, and those were some of my worst nightmares.
Yeah, he was good. So it does have potential. I'm not saying that DeVries is Doug McDermott, but I guess they're a little similar, kind of.
Yeah, they can definitely once they're like if they get hot, they can definitely will a team to a win.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the slower because Doug McDermott is like 6'8", 220, and Tucker DeVries. Full disclosure, I like West Virginia basketball. I've been cheering for them for a long time now, kind of lightly. But I watched DeVries when he played earlier this year, and he is very, very slow. And I watched him at Drake because he was there. Before that, he spent 3 years at Drake, and he racked up all of these accolades at Drake. MVC, he ran the not the Miami Valley Conference, the Missouri Valley Conference. Ran that for a while, was an honorable mention All-American, tournament MVP, played in March Madness. Played at Waukee, Iowa. Shout out to them. I went to that. That's a very nice area of town. And it produced some really nice players, too. The Sanford brothers, who played for Iowa, went there, and Omaha Baloo went there. I'm not sure where he's at now. Good luck to him. But he was a 5-star recruit. But yeah, one question. Is Indiana, what's your expectations for them this year?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably too early to say because they have 3 guys on the team right now, if you count Luke Goody. But at the same time, they've got like 8 figures in NIL money.
Yes.
So I don't really see like I feel like if you have that much or that many resources and you're bad, then it's a problem.
Yes.
And like they were last year, so that's why it's so conflicting to me. But I don't know. I feel like the additions so far have been okay. Like Devries is solid. I don't really buy the Connor Enright hype.
But, yeah, we'll talk about that.
But yeah,
but I was just curious.
They're in the running for some solid guys, so we'll see how it shapes up.
But I was just curious because obviously you're involved in kind of the basketball scene a little bit in, kind of everybody is. It's Indiana, it's kind of close to a blue blood basketball school. And I know Indiana fans are very impatient at times, but I was just curious if the student body, if they wanted, a national championship or something, or to compete for a Final Four or Sweet 16. Like, I was just curious about that, especially because they have a big NIL bag, and the only guys they've bagged are Tucker DeVries and Connor Enright, and I guess they have Luke Goody. Those guys are okay, but Tucker DeVries is not going to be a top player on a Final Four team. That's just
it'd
be a good starter.
I would have told you, like, if you would have asked me this question like 5 days ago, I would have said Conwell is a complete lock to go there.
Right.
And then they miss it on him too.
That's my thing.
I don't know. They've had some misses. I mean, I think everyone was excited about last year just having Mbako come back, and then the Miles Rice hype was pretty real, and then Ballo.
Yeah.
So, and that just failed miserably. So
it did. But that's my concern here is that, yeah, DeVries is cool and all, but you want to pair him with a couple of guys. You don't want him to be, because right now, if you just go, Darian DeVries could, in theory, because Connor Enright played on his team at Drake, pretty much just build the next Drake. And that's not good enough to compete in the Big Ten, really. So you need somebody around, like West Virginia had Javon Small playing beside DeVries. So I would have loved to see Ryan Conwell on this team. If they get Conwell, I think this addition is a higher grade, personally. Do you think that DeVries, I don't mean to start conspiracy theories because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but do you think that he knew this was coming, that he would be an Indiana Hoosier, like mid-season almost?
I don't think so, just because there wasn't really much talk around it until it happened.
Okay.
I think
a lot of what goes on.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, that, yeah, sure, that's something that if they kept it really well kept, then sure. But I think the talk around IU when they first started the search was like Chris Beard, or like even a Grant McCaslin or Ben McCollum. And then I don't know. I mean, I think DeVries was mentioned in like some regard, but I don't think he was ever seen as like the runaway favorite until it happened. Like when the news broke, I was like, oh wow, was not expecting that. So yeah, I don't know. I would knock him right now though, just because Conwell went to Louisville, and that's a big miss. I mean, that's a hometown guy who you can't even bring home. So
yeah, that was a huge miss. But good for Pat Kelsey. Good for Tucker DeVries, I guess. Don't want to pocket watch, but how much? Okay, let's say, because Donovan Dent, it's been reported that he's gotten $3 million. How much would you give Tucker DeVries?
I was thinking about this earlier. I mean, they could realistically pay 10 guys $1 million a piece based off.
Yeah, right.
And that's like crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously, it'll differ, but I don't know. I mean, you would think that it's. I would say anywhere in the neighborhood from like, this is a wide range, but like 500, 600 to like 1.2. I doubt it's that high.
Yeah.
But I could see it. Like there's a world where I could be like, okay, not that it makes sense, but like doesn't shock me.
That's a great point right there. My thing is just I'm very concerned that Indiana gave Tucker a lot more money than they should have.
Yeah.
That's my concern because I feel as if they are bringing him in unless they're getting someone that I don't know about. Because, like it or not, although I disagree with this, Devries right now is the 11th player in the portal. And obviously there will be some Duke, Final Four guys that'll enter that'll probably go a little higher. But it sounds like they're bringing Devries in to be the best player on the team. Unless they snag like an RJ Lewis or a Yaxel Lenenberg or some other guy who hits the portal.
Okay, I'm looking at an article right now. Hold on a second. This says it's being reported that the deal was over $2 million.
Yeah, if that's true, that's not great. I don't think.
I could be wrong. I could be misreading it.
Because I'm cool with bringing in Tucker on the hometown discount and having him be third
exactly.
Four.
Exactly.
But to bring him in to be your $2 million highest paid man, I don't know. Maybe my expectations have gone up because of what Mark Pope did at Kentucky, where he brought in a whole roster full of new transfers.
Yeah.
Went to the Sweet 16. I personally don't really see that. If they paid Tucker $2 million, they definitely. We'll talk about Connor Enright, but Connor Enright should go there for free. My opinion.
Yeah.
But they probably paid Connor Enright some too. So I don't know. Good luck, Hoosier fans. We'll be talking about you.